Hello, everyone. I am WWE Man along with my partner in crime, the five-star legend, and we are back and better than ever for our Money in the Bank preview and prediction show. What's up, five star?
What's going on, WWE man? I'm the five-star legend. We are back. We missed last month's pay-per-view, Payback. We said that we were going to do it, and we got caught up with a bunch of stuff. There was a lot of emergencies going on both of our sides, so we weren't able to get that up. We do apologize for that. We are going to try to keep consistent with what we're doing. We really take this seriously. We really enjoy what we're doing, and we appreciate those who are still sticking with us and who have stuck with us so far. We don't have that many shows together, but we'll get them up. This is Money in the Bank, July 14th in Philadelphia. It's going to be
Yeah,
great.
yeah. I mean, I bet this next show that we're putting up here, this Money in the Bank show, Woody Eubane's going to call us out and say that we sit on a throne of lies because we said that we'd do a payback show. We said that our Twitter page was Webster's of wrestling. Those are all lies.
Those are all lies. And Woody Ubane, if you want to call us out again, that will be fine with me. Just do it in detail.
Coherence is key.
Coherence is key. That's right. Let's kick things off here with a kickoff match. We got
Shield, the Shield
the
versus
Shield.
the Usos.
The tag titles are on the line. They're going to be in a pre-show. Don't get confused. Pre-show, kickoff, same thing. There's commercials now, apparently.
My mind hurts. Five star. I don't know what to think. Is it pre-show? Is it kickoff? Is there commercials? Should I buy the pay-per-view? Should I watch the kickoff? Should I watch? I don't know. I'm
You're
confused.
very confused. That's because Ryback doesn't wear a beanie anymore. At least not from what I see.
Is he a heel? Is he a face? Does he wear a beanie? Is he Goldberg? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either. But what I do know is the Usos have won number one contendership. This rivalry has been going on for about a month. It's actually a really good, solid rivalry when it comes to the tag team division
Right.
overall. I like it. What do you think?
I do too. It's been built on all the shows. For anyone who does watch main event, they took some time to build it up on there. They built it on Raw with Usos getting. I believe they won the number one contendership on Raw. They've taken time on SmackDown to give it some build. It's probably one of the longest. I won't say that because Team Hell No and the Shield, they had a good build too. But it is a good build for a tag team match. Better than half, maybe not half, but around half the matches on the actual card. Don't you think?
Yeah, yeah, it's a really long, very well put together build for these guys. You got the Usos who have been paying their dues for a very long time, losing match after match after match, and they're finally getting themselves a really big push. They were a part of the team with Christian that defeated the Shield. Only two teams have been able to do that, and that's a big deal.
Yeah, it's a very big deal. I think it should have been a bigger deal because I don't even remember WWE making that big a deal out of Usos getting the victory there.
Yeah, I don't remember that either. But the match should be really good. I mean, the Shield always steals the show, and then you got the Usos and Roman Reigns, their family.
True, that's a good point. Actually, I think that's a point that WWE just fails to mention, of course. But Usos being what are they to the
They're
Roman
cousins.
Reigns?
They're
Yeah,
cousins.
cousins.
Rikishi and The Rock were cousins. They are cousins still, And
Right.
Rikishi's their father, the Usos' father, and Roman Reigns is a cousin of The Rock. So they're somehow cousins.
Right, the family lineage is there, so that's cool. That's a nice added bonus to the match that we just gave our viewers.
Yeah, that we just gave you, the WWE fans, because WWE is not going to do it. And it builds this
No,
matchup even more, and it makes it more anticipated. The titles are on the line. Who do you think's going to win?
Shield all the way. And I mean, by the way, this the only positive about this match being on the kickoff is it gives all fans no excuse to miss it. Everybody gets to see it. It's free, so everybody gets to watch this match, and it should be pretty good. So that's kind of the only positive, I guess, out of it. But yeah, the Shield will retain the titles here. Nice push for Usos. I hope the WWE doesn't just drop them, uh, you know, and give them nothing after this. kind of just put them back in no man's land. But match should be pretty good, and Shield will win,
Yeah,
keep the titles.
I'm
Yeah,
down with that. I'm going with the Shield too. I love the Usos. I've always wanted them to get to the main event scene when it comes to the tag division, but
I agree.
now's not the time. I mean, the Shield is there, and the Shield right now are trying to establish themselves as legitimate superstars. So I mean, now's not the time for the push for the Usos, but at least they're getting it, and I'm just hoping that they don't get pushed aside after this as well. But I'm going with the Shield on this one.
Exactly my thoughts. Yeah, I agree. And yeah, that's kickoff. Everybody enjoy that match. You have no reason not to watch it, so it's free. Next is the actual Money in the Bank show gets on its way with Chris Jericho versus Ryback. What are your thoughts on this match? 5 star, because I don't have a lot of thoughts on this, but what do you think?
I was keeping up with Raw and SmackDown in bits throughout the past few weeks, and I had no idea Jericho and Ryback were feuding. If I'm honest.
I'm right there with you. I really only know about this match happening because the website says so.
Yeah, the website said so. He's not wearing a beanie. I don't know what to think.
I don't either. And he doesn't come out with Scott Steiner's theme song anymore, and that makes me sad.
For those of you who don't know, Scott Steiner, Scott Steiner was he's a legend, older wrestler, but his theme song was an ambulance, and Ryback has come out a few times with an ambulance, and Levi and I both, WWE Man and I, both thought that it was Scott Steiner returning to the ring for some reason. I mean, it sounded pitch perfect. It was a perfect time, but Ryback came out and it's
It
like,
caught me
whoa,
off guard
yeah.
numerous times, really,
Yeah,
being
and,
honest.
and didn't even make it any better when Ryback came out because it's like, is it Goldberg? Is he heel? Is he babyface?
The beanie face was key to understanding the face heel character of Ryback.
Yeah. Um,
But about the match, I mean,
the
yeah,
match
this
itself, though,
yeah.
yeah, we should talk about that. Jericho, he can work with anybody. I think if there's anybody Ryback needs to be working with in that ring, it's Jericho to, I guess, sharpen his sculpt himself,
Yeah,
better.
his in ring skills
Yeah.
and execution of the match and whatnot. Yeah, I mean, is this another example of Ryback kind of crying and wanting out of the match like he's been doing lately? Because that seems where his character's going. Which I don't even I think that I was talking about this with you before we started, and I was saying I honestly think WWE going with Cryback uh, is so bad that it's kind of funny, but it's really bad. Like it doesn't make any logical sense. Kind of bad for him getting over.
It doesn't at all. He's this huge, muscly guy. He's supposed to be unstoppable monster. Feed me more. But he's been acting really full lately. Like feed me less. I don't want any more of Jericho or anybody. It's just I don't know what to think about it. To me, going the more indestructible sort of feel to Ryback seems more logical than I mean to show that he's vulnerable, sure, but very very vulnerable to the point to where he's crying to get out of a match. I don't like it.
Yeah, it feels like a very low mid card act is what it feels like. It feels like something that would be down there with, and no offense against these guys if you like them, but it feels like something to be down there with like the Tensai character and the Bros Clay character.
Yeah, I don't like it. I hope it doesn't last long. I hope it runs its course quickly.
I think we should mention too Vicky Guerrero. I mean, will she play a role in this match? We saw him take her when she got fired by the McMahons this past Monday on Raw as a general manager or up and coming GM. She was on her way out, and Ryback took her boxes, which she was having, leaving her office, and seemed to show some companionship towards Vicky. I believe he even hugged her. So
Didn't even.
Yeah, I believe so. So either Ryback is now working for a moving company, that's why he took her boxes, or she's going to manage him.
Moving company. Okay. I think that Ryback and Vicky Guerrero are gonna have to work together eventually. Vicky's got nothing else to do right now. She's kind of crying herself, so they have something in common.
Yeah,
Um,
that's true.
right? Yeah. So Ryback, Vicky Guerrero being involved. Yes, Ryback needs to win this match, I believe, because Ryback hasn't won a pay-per-view match in almost a year.
Wow, that's something.
Yeah, think about it. He really hasn't.
True. Well, then you're right. I mean, if that's the case, we know Jericho usually puts over talent. I don't see why else he'd even feud with Ryback. So, I mean, it makes sense that he'll probably Ryback will go over in this match. So, but yeah, my final prediction here, to kind of sum it up and we can move on, is Ryback wins with the help of Vicky Guerrero since he's now her mover.
Yeah, I agree. Ryback picking up the victory with help of Vicky Guerrero.
All right, that sounds good. Yeah, I mean, sure. We're both not huge Ryback fans here, but that sounds like a logical explanation for the end of this
Just to
match.
correct you, I am a huge Ryback fan, just not a huge Cryback fan.
Oh, well, you know what? That's fair, I guess.
Fair,
I,
fair.
I stand by my uh what I just said that Ryback isn't. I'm not a big fan of him, but we have differing opinions. Cryback, we both agree is just
Yeah,
awesome.
yeah, we'll agree on that. Let's move on. We
Yeah, move
got
on
the
to
Divas title.
the Divas champion AJ versus former Divas champion Caitlyn, and this match is of course for the Divas championship rematch from Payback, which I thought their match at Payback was rather stellar. I thought it was probably the best Divas match that WWE has had in maybe a year, or maybe two,
When was the last
maybe
one?
2 years. So
What was the last really good Divas match that you remember?
the last really good Divas match that I remember.
Well, you just said like in the past 2 years. So, I mean, what was the
I
last
did
one you
say that.
remember?
Yeah, it would have to go all the way back to uh really a 5 star. I have no idea. That's I was
Really, I have no idea.
I was just trying to say it's been that long.
It's been
It
a
it could be
while.
it's so long that I don't remember the
Well,
last time.
one to two
I should
years
have said
ago, the
that.
Divas weren't even wrestling.
Yeah, it was back before when it was the WWF. That was the last great Divas match and
Oh,
that I remember seeing. The
um,
point being,
point
yeah,
being,
the point being that it was good. It was a good match.
yeah, it was a really good match. I think they stole the show when it comes to female um, matches, quality matches.
Right,
AJ Lee's very
yeah,
good in that ring.
I agree, and I like Caitlyn Spear by the way. I think it looks really good.
Yeah, I love her spear. She can spear me anytime.
That's very PG.
That's something Jerry Lawler would say, or Taz.
Or Taz, yeah,
They
like
were
the
both.
pigeons loose.
Yeah, there you go. Wow, that's crazy. How did I know my? All right, sorry. Okay, yeah. Well, this match. Well, by the way, I wanted to bring something up to you. Actually, are you aware that NXT has the NXT Women's Championship?
Yeah, yeah. I'm Paige. I'm pretty sure is the women's champion over there, and she's awesome. She's a great talent. Um, so yeah, they had that. Why do you ask?
I'm thinking because first of all, AJ Lee, we all know she doesn't like her title the way it looks. I don't like the title. I think it's almost, in a way, somewhat disrespectful and not legitimate. It's not legit. It's not a legit title for women to be fighting over. It's the Divas Championship. So I'm thinking, I wanted to ask your opinion on it. If you thought maybe would it make sense to have the Divas Championship move over to NXT and they can fight for the Divas title, and have the NXT Women's title come over to Raw or WWE and just have the women's title be defended and on WWE television, and the NXT title would be the NXT Divas title.
Uh, yes and no. I do definitely think that the Divas Championship could and should be moved over. Quite well, maybe should be moved over to NXT because it would be like a legitimate kind of thing. Like they could announced that former Divas champion Michelle McCool and AJ and et cetera, et cetera. And they held these titles and or this title, and now Paige or whoever has the title. So it kind of legitimizes that championship for the NXT viewers, which are few, but there's some, and it legitimizes it. Okay, but the NXT title itself, the NXT Women's Championship, coming over to Raw or SmackDown, is an interesting idea. But I don't know. I mean, I don't know if it would not be called NXT Women's Champion, right?
No, it'll be
Okay.
WWE Women's Championship.
So why not just bring back the old women's title though instead?
Because it would get. I think it would get confusing to have the WWE Women's title and the NXT Women's title, but they're both the same company.
I was thinking they moved the Divas title to NXT and
That's what I
bring back the
said.
old women's title. Well, I see. I thought you. So is the NXT Women's
No,
title the
no, no,
exact
it's
same
not.
thing?
No.
Okay.
Divas Championship go to NXT, and then get rid of the NXT Women's title. Bring back the Women's title for.
Oh well, then yes, I 100.
I just meant
We
they
finally
switch
got there, folks.
places because like it's the NXT Women's title, but if you bring it to SmackDown, it's a SmackDown's Women's title. If you bring it to Raw, it's Raw's Women's title. It's just saying where it is in that title. So it's like having
All
the
right.
SmackDown Championship. If you move it to Raw, it's probably not gonna be the SmackDown Championship.
Okay. So the title design is the original women's title design.
Yeah.
All right. I'm for that if WWE is actually cracked down with their division and actually cares about it in the long term. Otherwise, it just disrespects the lineage and reputation of that title.
Yes, I agree. There you go. All right. Cool. Moving on.
Yeah,
Caitlyn,
back to the match.
AJ.
Yeah.
Caitlyn and AJ, they have really great chemistry, best friends since NXT even. So I just think that these two are going to work very well together and could possibly steal the show in some sense with no gimmick, like with single competition, not like gimmick matches.
I agree because their match at Payback was like one of the highlights. I mean, I thought it was a good pay per view overall, but I think that it was one of the highlights of the show because it's so rare to see a good Divas match. As I said before, 2 years, and then I couldn't come up with what I was saying, but you know what I'm saying. Yeah.
Yeah. Who do you think's going to win?
I think AJ has to win this unless they want to prolong the feud, but I think it kind of hurt her title run to lose so early on. So I kind of think AJ needs to establish herself as a good Divas champion, get another victory over Caitlyn. They could either do it in a fluky way, so they could have one more match, but I really think this feud, as good as it is, because I think it's good for I mean, we haven't had a good Divas feud in a while, and I think it's actually pretty well done. Um, because there's history between those two, and they've taken the time to tell that story. But I think that it's kind of run its course, and this is a good way to end it. Have AJ defeat Caitlyn in a decisive manner, and she can move on to her next feud, whoever that may be. There's different options, but yeah, I think AJ needs this win. I think AJ will win.
Okay. Yeah, that's a very good point. I'm right with you. AJ for the win. Now that I'm not a fan of Caitlyn, I'm kind of not a fan of Caitlyn. But I mean, I really love AJ and everything she's doing. I think that she's really the top diva of the modern age because it's hard to say that in these days. And AJ Lee has definitely embraced her character and who she is. So I just think that yeah, she needs it to be a legitimate champ and move on to more matches, more rivalries, and hopefully a better Divas division.
I hope so. That's a win-win for everyone if that's the case. So
Puppies. Yeah.
yes. So okay, AJ for the win, and we will be moving on now to the Intercontinental Champion Curtis Axel versus the most must-see
Most must see.
WWE superstar of all time, The
The
Miz.
Miz. Oh my God, he's so must see.
He is. He's even so must-see that they took him off the most must-see pre-show
Kickoff.
segments. Kickoff, whatever. Yeah, the kickoff segments that he's usually on, and they put him on the actual cards. That's how must see he is. WWE officials knew it, and they put
Yeah,
him on there.
he's so must see that he doesn't even need to win number one contender matches. He doesn't need to win regular matches at all to get himself a title match. He's just must see. That's it.
He's so must see that John Cena, you know where I'm going with this, can see him.
Moving on. We got Curtis Axel. He's a third generation superstar. His father, Mr. Perfect, was a great intercontinental champion. Curtis
Yes,
Axel is going to be in this match. I'm not sure about the Miz's place in this match. I feel like it's just going to be one of those matches that Curtis Axel just wins. It's an easy title defense. No offense to the most must-see jobber in WWE, but I
he
think
did.
Curtis
He did.
Axel.
He did earn his number one contendership here by commentating on main event.
Yeah, he commentated. It was a well-fought commentating.
Don't forget the most must see talk show
Yeah,
on his
yeah,
TV.
yeah. His talk shows
That's how this
really
match
earned
came
him
about. So
points. Yeah, you just gotta be a commentator. You gotta have a talk show, and you gotta be really good at talking, and then you get an intercontinental championship match.
sure, and his talk show is something. I wouldn't say really good, but
Most must see, not very good talk show. So Curtis Axel for the win on my part. I don't see any point to this match really. Um, a clean victory over Miz would do wonders for Curtis Axel because he's been having some cheap victories. His finisher, of course, the count out.
the count
Um,
out, yes.
yeah,
What a great finisher. His dad would be
it's a
proud.
perfect finisher. But Curtis Axel needs a clean victory over some babyface, like an actual top guy, a former champ like The Miz. I think that would do really good for him. He lost to Jericho, which surprised me because Jericho is known for putting people over, but he lost to Jericho for the sake of this rivalry, and I don't think that should have happened because Curtis Axel, I'm not sure, but I thought he was undefeated.
Yeah, I think. I mean, I think you're right. I really don't think he had lost up to that point.
Yeah,
So
and to lose a match because of your rival, who isn't a very good rival, you just, I don't know. I'm not a big fan of this match. I'm a big fan of Curtis Axel. I'm an okay fan of The Miz. But I just want to see Curtis Axel win, and I want to see how well he performs in this match because I've been grading Curtis Axel because he's new. I've been watching him in the ring, seeing how he's embracing his new character and his new spot, and being champion, representing himself as champion.
yeah,
So yeah, I'm just looking forward to the match, seeing how he does against the Miz.
yeah. No, I am too. I mean, it's. I'm not excited about the match either. I'm with you, but in ring wise, it'd be interesting to see what kind of match they put on together. I expect them to get a decent amount of time too, because it just feels like that kind of match. I'd say 10 minutes at least. It should be decent, and Curtis Axel needs and will get the victory here, and he'll probably get cleanly. I don't see any shenanigans from Heyman here. I don't think so. So yeah, Axel will keep the strap here with a clean, decisive victory.
Yes.
Moving on to the first of two Money in the Bank ladder matches. We are the Money in the Bank review. Uh, 5 star, I'd say that these Money in the Bank matches, for me and my book and a lot of fans' books, are one of the most exciting matches of the year.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. They're
Easily. I
really
mean,
well put
they're
together.
always exciting. Whether they're outstanding or whether they're just pretty good, they're always exciting.
Yes, always exciting. You always want to know who's gonna get that briefcase because whoever gets the briefcase isn't just winning a match. They have a possibility of being champion, and that's just awesome. You never know when they're gonna cash it in. And Ziggler's cash in was apart from Edge's very first cash in, Dolph Ziggler number two best cash in ever, in my opinion.
I probably agree. I was there live, so it was right on par with Edges just because it was a live experience. But taking that away from it, it's number two to Edge.
Yeah, for sure. We got the world title contract on the line in this Money in the Bank ladder match. We have seven, I believe, seven um, younger guys. We have the All Star ladder match later on, but this is
Right.
this is a bit younger. These guys are a bit. hungry, hungry for a chance to shine. You got Antonio
Wasn't Ryback in
Cesaro.
it then.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Ryback reference. Wade Barrett, Antonio Cesaro, Jack Swagger, Cody Rhodes, and his partner. Well, they split up, I'm sure. Damien
Those fellas,
Sandow.
yeah, I was
Yeah,
thinking.
yeah. God, I saw them introduced on like SmackDown or Raw a week ago or something, and I was like Team Rhodes Scholars. I was like,
Yeah, I don't even know if they're
okay,
together or not anymore. I'm so confused. I guess they are. Sure. Yeah, they're
yeah,
together.
yeah,
Good point.
they're together. They're right next to each other on the picture.
Yeah.
You got Fandango and Dean Ambrose, the United States champion. People say that the United States champion isn't going to win it because he's United States champion, but that doesn't always apply. The United States
No.
champion John Cena won a No Way Out tournament to face JBL for the WWE title.
Yeah. No, I don't. Yeah, that doesn't always apply at all. And he if you're coming from the mindset of well, WWE isn't going to, they're never going to have Dean Ambrose hold both the WWE United States Championship and the WWE World Heavyweight Championship, then you have to remember that he has a year to cash in this baby. He doesn't have to cash it in right away, so he may not be U.S. champion by the time he cashes it in. So,
Yeah, got
you
to
know,
keep that in mind.
I mean, speaking of, I mean, Ambrose winning, that's my ideal person to win. I mean, that's my ideal, who I would want to win person, I'd say.
Yeah, yeah, I'm
if
with
I
you.
if I if I had to choose. I mean, that's who I'd go with. But that not necessarily my prediction. We'll get to that later. Who if you could choose 5 star, if you could choose anyone in this match to win, who would it be in this match? And not who you think necessarily, but if you were the booker,
If I
who
were
would
the
you choose?
Booker,
Yes,
wow,
not Booker T.
not Booker T. No, he's not around. Teddy Long's in charge, and on
Of
Raw,
Raw and SmackDown. Yeah.
on Raw and SmackDown. Yeah. So if I were the Booker, I think the smart choice would be Cody Rhodes.
No, yeah, and I thought you were going to say that, and I kind of agree. If I was the, I kind of want to take back my statement with Dean Ambrose because it is a biased opinion. It's just somebody I really like,
I
but
love
in
him.
actual logical sense, it would make more sense to have Cody Rhodes, a man who's been with the WWE for countless years now and hasn't really gotten that main event push yet. This seems, in a lot of ways, to me, his last chance opportunity, if, at least in WWE's eyes. If they don't give him if they don't give him this, then I don't see them ever giving him anything remotely main event.
Yeah. Did you see the money? I'm sure you have the Money in the Bank ladder match for the world title when Daniel Bryan won the match.
Yes.
In that match, did you see Cody Rhodes' performance? Because it was amazing. He did so well in that match, and he didn't win it. I mean, sure, Daniel Bryan, of course, earned that victory, but Cody Rhodes really performed to a level that like he just belonged there with the top guys, and
I agree.
he
I
just looked
remember now
great.
you're talking about that. Rhodes really was impressive in that match. I he was kind of like and Brian was great in that match too, and really everyone was. That was a
Everyone,
great
yeah,
match, yeah. But yeah, Rhodes definitely, you could relate that performance to something like Kingston or Benjamin in the past Money in the Bank matches where they kind of put on a great show but never won any of those matches. So
yeah, definitely.
yeah. I guess we should talk about Wade Barrett being put in a match like this. Wade Barrett, a guy who really, I don't understand why he's in this match because he really just has lost every match imaginable under
That's
the sun.
why. That's why he's in this match, man.
Explain.
Because he hasn't won anything. I mean, if you're going to put some hungry guys, some people who are not only hungry for a title, not only hungry for an opportunity, but hungry for for a victory, just a victory would do. I think if there's anybody who deserves a victory more, it's Wade Barrett. If anybody deserves a push more, it's Cody Rhodes. If anybody deserves a legacy and a legend status, is Dean Ambrose, of course. And if anybody should be rewarded for their mic skills and charisma, Damien Sandow, Fandango. And if anybody should be rewarded for their overall performance of last year, he hasn't been rewarded. He's been kicked off of the face of the earth is Antonio Cesaro, and if anybody should be fired, it's Jack Swagger.
I thought you were going to say awarded for DUIs. It should be Jack
Oh
Swagger.
my God, DUIs! Don't get me started on DUIs. Yeah, I mean, no, I don't like Jack Swagger. Anyway, moving on. Wade
No, I mean
Barrett.
I want to say that was a nice nice breakdown of everybody in the match. I like that.
Thank you.
Um, I get what you're saying. I just want to say, I mean, I just don't think a lot of these guys at least have gotten some victories. I really don't think Barrett's gotten barely anything. So I guess I get your whole, he's hungry for the title and he deserves, he wants that win. So Teddy Long is giving him that chance. But
Yeah.
man, he just feels so unlikely to win this match.
So unlikely to win this match because he has no momentum. I mean, that's why main eventers beat mid carders all the time before the pay per views to get momentum going into the match, so that you look at the match and you go, oh hey, he has a chance of winning. Wade Barrett, he hasn't had that momentum. I don't even think he's been in this rivalry, a rivalry with anybody in this match, but he has no momentum, and that's why you're looking at him going, he has no chance in hell. Vince McMahon
Right.
reference.
Yes.
I, he has just as much of a chance as anybody else in this match, because whether he's winning or not, whether he has momentum or not, he is still going out there and performing at a level of a main eventer, or at least somebody who should be rewarded or treated as a main eventer like Wade Barrett. Losing or not, because we all know losing doesn't mean that you suck. It doesn't mean that you're not
No.
the best. You
No.
can be the best and you can lose all the time. Dolph Ziggler is a great example.
I agree. I'm not, yeah, and to clarify that, that's not at all what I'm trying to
Oh
say. I
yeah,
just,
yeah, of course,
it,
yeah.
yeah,
I didn't think that at
I
all.
just, I just, it's hard for me to take him seriously, not because of how great he is, but because of WWE's damaging booking of him.
Terrible booking.
Yeah.
So we had our choices of who we would book to win, but who do we think is going to win this match? We'll start with you. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, Money in the Bank is always, in my opinion, pretty tough. It's right up there kind of with the Royal Rumble. Sometimes there's a clear cut kind of idea you can tell WWE has with the booking of the match, and sometimes there isn't. This is
Unless
one of
John
those.
Cena's in it. If John Cena's in it, you know he's going to win the Money in the
Then
Bank. He'll win the Royal
yeah.
Rumble. He'll win all of it.
But this one, I really don't think there's any clear cut victor. I think it's pretty open, which I like because it's kind of unpredictable in a way. Um, if I had to pick with anybody in the momentum and the that they've been going through at the time being, I definitely would go with Ambrose. He has a pretty nice momentum we're going right now, being U.S. champion, getting multiple victories, and or just looking impressive with the Shield. And I don't see that stopping, and I really do think Dean Ambrose is going to win the briefcase here, and also have the option to have his friends Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins of the Shield take out his opponent and then cash it in. So I think that's an interesting dynamic that we haven't really seen much of with the Money in the Bank, kind of a three-man team taking out somebody and then cashing in. That's kind of new and interesting. So yeah, Dean Ambrose will win, a well-deserved win. We talked about Cody Rhodes winning, that's good too. But I think Dean Ambrose is gonna get the briefcase here, and I'll be happy. I'll be happy with that. So, how about
Okay.
you?
Gosh, man. When it comes to momentum, Dean Ambrose has most of it, of course.
Yeah,
When it comes to deserving it, Cody Rhodes has been there the longest. But everybody has a reason to win, and everybody has a reason why they should win, except Jack Swagger. Um, so I'm going to go with Dean Ambrose as well. I think that is a really clever dynamic. I mean, if you think about it, Antonio Cesaro cashing it in. We know Ziggler and Del Rio are going to be feuding for a while, so I mean, Antonio cashing in on Del Rio, maybe no. Swagger Del Rio, that's more of a possibility. Fandango cashing it in on anybody, not likely. Sandow, he loses to everyone, especially Sheamus. Cody Rhodes, it's a possibility, but it's gotta take, you gotta legitimize him, and Wade Barrett. Everybody beats Wade Barrett, so it
right.
just makes sense that Dean Ambrose is gonna win this one.
I think so too. I think if you kind of logically sit down and say what makes the most sense, I think Dean Ambrose just makes the most sense. I mean, they if they pull a swerve, that's possible. Who knows? Maybe they pull a swerve and have Wade Barrett win, and then have him lose when he cashes in because he
Oh,
loses everything. But I don't think so. I don't. I think WWE would just kind of logically have Ambrose win, and I can't complain. I mean,
I'm not complaining.
Ambrose is
Not at
great,
all.
so
Yeah,
nothing to
definitely.
complain about there. Uh, quality wise, match quality wise, this looks. I think it's going to be very good. Lots of good talent here.
Yes, sir. I'm right with you.
So yeah, Ambrose, Mr. Money in the Bank on the World Heavyweight Championship contract side of things, and with that, we'll move along to the World Heavyweight Championship. That's World Heavyweight Champion Alberto Del Rio versus heel. Wait, is he heel Ziggler? Is he face Ziggler? Tweener Ziggler? Is he wearing a beanie? Dolph Ziggler
He's not
for the
wearing a
World
beanie.
Heavyweight Championship.
He's not wearing a beanie. I can confirm that right now. Uh, he's probably a face. Um, yeah, I'm not
But
sure.
he's dating heel. He's dating heel AJ.
It's very confusing. I'm sure we're gonna see a split sometime soon. But for this match, Dolph Ziggler is looking to get revenge for his concussion. And Alberto Del Rio stealing that title off of him. The way Ziggler stole the title off of him. I mean, they're just kind of taking it off each other, playing title tag. But I'm liking this match, mostly because Ziggler's in it, and I want to see how well he does as a face because he has the opportunity to perform, even greater feats than what he was able to do as a heel. Because a heel is kind of restricted, but
The
as a
athleticism
baby
should be
face,
off
the
the charts.
athletic,
Yeah,
yes, that's what I'm saying.
as his ex girlfriend Amy Schumer once said on the Howard Stern show, that Dolph Ziggler is maybe too athletic.
Yeah, he has he sweats stamina. He's just absolutely amazing. I'm really excited to see him perform as a face and against Del Rio. I want him to beat Del Rio. I'm not sure that's going to happen. It's a possibility that it won't. Um, what are your thoughts?
I think the match. Yeah, I mean it's awful. The full conclusion that the match is good. These guys have been wrestling really before a feud began, a legitimate feud began between these two. These guys were facing off on main event, Raw, SmackDown, every show under WWE's sun, and they were all good matches. They were all really good matches, and but that was a heel face dynamic with Ziggler being the heel and Del Rio being the face. It's switched now, so it should be a little bit more fresh match because the dynamic has switched and changed. I'm looking forward to the match. The build has been a little strange. Uh, I know it's basic with the revenge of the concussion angle, but it's a little strange seeing Ziggler adjust as a face. Um, I was happy that on Raw he had the quick style promo that he's always done, if you know what I mean.
Yeah,
Um, he still did that. That was cool to see because that's something I really like from Ziggler. I have faith in Dolph Ziggler that he will pull through and be a very believable and great babyface while not excuse me while not changing the qualities that we really love about him too much. Uh, so yeah, I'm looking forward to the match. I have a feeling AJ will be involved in this because her and Ziggler have been rocky lately. Maybe AJ attempts to help Ziggler, but accidentally cost him the match, leading to their eventual breakup in the near future, and then of course continuing Del Rio and Ziggler's feud. What do you think? What do you think of that?
I think that that's a really good point. They need to build and legitimize Dolph Ziggler as a babyface. In order to do that, you gotta break him up with AJ, break him up with Langston. You got to get him to a point where he's on his own and he can win matches on his own and he can be his own man and get himself to the point to where he's all set to win that world title and then win the world championship. Just winning it now, it wouldn't make too much sense. I think the chase is what we're going to be buying into. What these fans are going to be buying into is the chase to that world title. We know he has what it takes to get it done. We know what it's like to have him as champ. So we just gotta wait. It's a waiting game with that. But I think that we can most certainly guarantee that Dolph Ziggler is going to be world champion again. And at the
Agree.
end of this rivalry, he will definitely be world champ. Just not now.
Agree. You got it 100% right that the chase is often what really makes a baby face love at the audience, and I think that's if WWE is smart, Ziggler won't win here. As much as I want him as champion, he won't win here. The chase is what he needs. You're right. So we're both saying a Del Rio victory, possibly with AJ. Should be a good match as always between those two. Hopefully the build gets between these two and the story gets better as it goes along.
Yeah,
Um,
I do. I agree. Yeah, Del Rio for the victory. We actually have a question from Facebook. We have the dream catcher Kurt Rhodes. He asks, Dolph Ziggler face turn. Is that for the better or for the worse? For better or
Thank you for
worse?
the question. That's great. We always appreciate fan feedback, questions, anything like that. That's always a vital part of our show. If you want to participate, we'd love to hear from you. Um, all right, to answer your question, the dream catcher Kurt Rhodes, you have to look at it from WWE's logic and their point of view. Their point of view and their logic is that Dolph Ziggler has been cheered out of almost every arena and venue that they've been going to for the last good, I'd say, 2 months, maybe longer. And so since he's been cheered as a heel, mind you, but since he's been cheered, they thought it's only logical, I'm sure, to turn the man babyface. Um, Now, your question is whether it's a good thing or a bad thing. In the long run, that is still to be determined. I'd say that it's it's really up in the air. I think that it's probably not going to be detrimental to Dolph Ziggler's career, but I don't know if it's going to in the long run boost his career to heights never seen before. The man is a really natural heel, and he really plays off of his show off gimmick. Now, Chris Jericho is also, very cocky, confident individual who can pull off the babyface and heel runs of his career that he's had. It's time will tell if Dolph Ziggler can. I think he's very, very talented, and I think that if anybody else can in the business, is Dolph Ziggler. And from his babyface run so far, I think it's been decent. Uh, and I think he has the opportunity to improve on that. So I think there's potential there, but I'm not gonna go on a limb and say it's gonna be better than his heel run or that's gonna make his career or break it for that matter. So thanks for the question. And what do you think, David? I mean, that's my thing here. So.
Yeah, I'm right with you. I think that Dolph Ziggler's babyface run is something that it just needs to happen right now to further develop his character and who he is. I mean, a character can't just be babyface forever, Cena, or anything like that. You got to change it up every now and then. It's just the right move for this moment to get him to where he needs to be. Like you said, it's not going to get him to. It's not going to be his definitive, uh, his peak of a character as a babyface right now. It's going to lead into that. I think that this needs to happen in order for him to become the peak character that he's going to be one day. But for right now, for better or for worse, I think it's better right now because in the long run, it's going to lead to something great. And I don't think it's going to hurt his career being a babyface right now.
No, I don't either. That's why I don't think it's going to be necessarily a make or break moment in his career.
Yeah, there you go. Thank you. I want to thank the dream catcher Kurt Rhodes on from Facebook for asking that question. If you guys have any questions, you can leave it on our Webster's of Wrestling page or Twitter or even in the comment section in this video, and we'll be happy to answer them in the next show.
Definitely. Thank you for that question. And we are moving on now. We made our predictions for that match. We both said Del Rio would get the victory, I believe.
Yep.
So moving on to the WWE Championship match, which we normally would say for last because it is the WWE Championship. But I think that this Money in the Bank, the All Star Money in the Bank, is a very monumental and big matchup that I think that deserves the last spot on our show. What
I
do you think?
hope it. I hope it gets the last spot on the pay-per-view.
Yeah, really, actually, I agree with that. It deserves it. Cena and Henry, uh, it's been a decent feud. I'm not saying it's been bad. It's been better than a lot of the matches that we've discussed so far as building feud goes and storyline leading up to their match. But it does not deserve the main event over the All Star Money in the Bank.
Yeah, I mean, if anything, if they are gonna have or if they want the WWE champion to close the show, the winner of the Money in Bank ladder match could climb down the ladder and Cena could come out and they could have a face off to end the pay-per-view. That would make sense.
Oh yeah, that's good. I mean, that's something. I mean, or I mean, we'll talk. I think we should save this for last, but the possibility of a cash in on the same night. I think we should talk about that later on. We'll talk about that, but I think that's something to consider too.
Yeah, definitely.
Um, as far as the build goes, as
What?
I was mentioning before, Mark Henry with his retirement promo, the fake retirement, for those of you who don't know, he came out on Monday Night Raw a few weeks ago and announced that he was retiring. A tearful speech, and Cena was very into it. The crowd was very into it.
My dad was very into it. He was crying.
I think a lot of us were. We were. It was a very emotional moment and a powerhouse performance
The
from Mark
powerhouse
Henry.
himself.
Yeah, the powers himself, the world's strongest tears. Uh,
Yeah.
it was great. It was Emmy worthy. And Cena goes in for the hug. You know, he wants to give him the big man a hug goodbye. And world's strongest slam, trick the world's strongest trickster as well. And he made his mark that night and pretty much laid down the statement after he laid down Cena that he was gonna be challenging him for the WWE Championship at Money in the Bank. Uh, great, great way to kick off their feud. I thought it was one of Mark Henry's finest moments. So I was really happy with that. And the build since then has been good, kind of back and forth between the two. A lot more simple than that, but that right there for me was enough, let alone to build this match. It was very good.
Yeah, I agree with you. John Cena versus Mark Henry. They faced before, but this is on a totally different level. I think Mark Henry's in a place where he has never been before. He is so.
Philadelphia.
Yeah, no, he's been there. No, he's he's in a place in his career as a character, as a superstar that he hasn't been before. He's in the best possible shape and just place, in the best possible place that he could be right now. I think this is one of those peaks in a career, and he's definitely on it, and he's on the right track.
I agree. It's definitely a peak for Mark Henry, and I think these last couple of years, he's had a couple of peaks. Like the he's just put in a lot of great work these past couple of years, and in my opinion, that's really why I want to see him win. I think he deserves it. He's put in so much work with the company all these years, and good stuff too. I mean, I think he gets better and better as time goes on. Uh, and I think he deserves, even if it's a short title run, he deserves to hold the WWE Championship, claim it as his at least once in his career.
Yeah, I agree. If not now, then later, because he needs it before he retires. I think he definitely should hold that at least once. When it comes to predicting this match, that's fairly difficult because I think Mark Henry really deserves it, really deserves the victory. But then again, I can't see Cena losing the title anytime soon, or losing a match anytime soon, to be honest. But still, I mean, I don't know. It's very tough to call. 84% of you have voted for John Cena to win. Yeah, not very, not reliable, but 16% of you voted for Mark Henry.
WWE.com for you.
WWE.com. That's the universe. The universe full of. Anyway, uh,
But this don't forget 5 star. This is in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. That's where Hershey's chocolate is made.
Sexy chocolate.
Sexual chocolate. Look at what do you think.
Yeah, that's a big deal. He's got the home field advantage.
I just feel myself reaching when I say that. Just
Wow.
reaching.
Okay. Let's go with predictions. I'm gonna go with John Cena for this. Not because I want him to. Okay, don't get me wrong. But
Trolls
because
will be coming.
yeah, I
Yeah.
know, I know. But John Cena for the victory. If you're mad at me for saying that last comment, I'm still picking John Cena. Okay, so Cena's winning mostly because I don't see Cena losing the title. I just can't right now. I have no idea where his title reign is gonna go. To be honest, I really
I
don't.
I half the time forget that he's champion.
Yeah, me too. Because he's just there, and it's also not helping the fact that he has the title on his shirt. It's also confusing, but I mean,
And don't get me wrong, this is not just mindless Cena bashing because I actually think that Cena's had some really great title runs in the past. I just think
yes,
this is an awful title run.
yeah. So far, it's an awful title run. I mean, I think feuding with Ryback was a big part of it too. I mean,
Oh yeah,
because of the way that was booked, it wasn't booked very well, and the 3 stages of Hell match was cut short, so that also didn't help it. But still, I mean,
it's
hey, if you
unbelievable
look
that that
at
was
the
shorter than it should have been.
Yeah, I agree. If you look at the picture of Cena versus Mark Henry, as you guys can see right now, he's wearing a shirt. The champ is here, and you can't see the title, and it's pointing down, and it looks funny.
Yeah, PG. I'm not sure.
We're not PG, okay? WWE's PG. We're not PG. Are we?
I'm saying that no, we're not PG. I'm saying that WWE having that shirt maybe is not very PG.
Yeah, yeah, I agree.
That's what I'm
Especially with the
trying to
way
say.
that they posted the picture. But still, the world's strongest shirt. Okay, going with predictions. Who do you think's gonna win this match?
It's got to be Cena. And I'm kind of sad saying that, but if anything, maybe it gives Cena a chance to redeem an awful title run because whether you like or dislike John Cena and his championship runs or reigns, in my opinion, I think he's had some really good ones. I'm not the biggest John Cena supporter, but I definitely think that he's had some great title runs, and this is not one of them. So maybe him winning this gives him another chance to rectify that. But as much, I'd love to see Henry come out on top with the victory and the championship, but it just doesn't look like it's going to happen at this time. This just seems like it's a well built feud, but it seems like something that Cena will come out on top with. It doesn't seem like a match that Cena will lose, which is rare, and I just don't see this being that match. So unfortunately, Mark Henry will not win the WWE Championship for the first time. Sexual Chocolate will not win in Hershey Town.
Makes sense though.
It does. That's really logical.
Yeah. I hope he wins. Oh, going against my prediction, I still hope Mark Henry wins.
I do too. Cena. I'm with you all the way. Cena is going to win this. I think clean victory, and probably will move on to his next feud, whatever that may be. But Mark Henry, yeah, it's kind of sad. I hope they don't just push him back to the mid card or whatever. But it's I have a bad feeling that
Yeah, and you got to keep
Henry.
in mind that everybody in the All Stars ladder match is babyface.
Very true. Well, we're going to get to that. There is a mystery opponent in that match, quite possibly.
Oh yeah,
So,
let's get
but
to that. Yeah, let's
yeah,
get
let's
to
get to that.
that.
We made our prediction here. Cena with a victory. Now let's get to the our main event, quite possibly the main event of the actual pay per view.
Main event of
The
the year, man.
the main event of the year. That's a big one. I won't say no to that. It is a big match. It's the WWE Money in the Bank All Star match with the winner getting a contract to the coveted WWE Championship. We have Daniel Bryan. We have CM Punk. We have Sheamus. We have Randy Orton. We have Christian. And we have the returning whole effing show, Rob Van Dam.
That's right. Wow, just saying that, I'm excited.
And maybe Kane, but probably
Maybe
not.
Kane, probably not. for those of you who don't know, last week on Raw, Kane was attacked by the Wyatt family, um, and he suffered an injury, and he's not going to be able to compete in the Money in the Bank ladder match. Hopefully, there is a replacement.
Yes. Is it actually confirmed? Did they say he will not be in it, or is it unlikely that he'll
By
be
the
in it?
time this podcast gets out, yes, they have confirmed it.
All right, it is confirmed then. Um, should we go into talking about the actual participants in the match first, or do you want to talk about the options here of replacing King?
Let's talk about options first.
All right. Uh, I'm going to name a name, and I'm going to see what you think of it.
Okay.
The most obvious one being Bray Wyatt. What do you think?
Bray Wyatt. I think it's a really okay choice because I mean we there was an injury to a superstar where they were unable to compete in a ladder match, and he was replaced with some new guys, and it was their first match ever in a main event quality ladder match, and it was a Shield, and they stole the show. So putting Bray Wyatt in this match, I wouldn't be against it due to the Shield's performance and shattering of the idea that rookies can't step in and step up to perform with the main event stars. Um,
Right.
but it's an all-star Money in the Bank ladder match. If they didn't call it all-stars, I mean, I'd be all for it. But I feel like there's got to be some bigger names. I mean, putting Bray Wyatt, third-generation superstar, sure, but putting him in there with Rob Van Dam, I don't think he's earned that yet. I mean, he's getting there, but he hasn't gotten to that status. So I mean, I wouldn't agree too much with it, but I wouldn't mind it at all.
Okay. Uh, I'm a little bit there. I think if they wanted to tell the story, because I'm with you on kind of the All Star thing and how it doesn't fit. As much as I like Wyatt and what he's done on NXT with his character and his debut this past Monday on Raw, much as I like that, I understand along with you that he's not an All Star. If they were to tell the story in a way that made Wyatt, he took out Kane and put himself in an All Star match because he feels he already is that and it's kind of a heel motive. I think that they could get by with it. He'd have to do the promo on his way out or do it the next night on Raw, preferably on the way out, so it's established why he's in it, even though he's not an All Star. So if he it was kind of a heel motive and got the heat from the fans and everything, saying that he's feels that he himself is already an All Star, I think that it could work. But otherwise, I kind of see what you're saying with All Star uh, gimmick of the match.
Yeah, I gotcha. But I have a pick for you.
All right.
The Big Show.
Returning Big Show. I
Yes.
just was wondering where is the Big Show because I haven't seen him in a long time, and
Yeah.
I honestly hadn't even been thinking about it until you mentioned him tonight. Uh, Big Show makes sense. He has history with Kane. I don't know if that really means anything. I'm just saying he has history with Kane, so him replacing Kane. They were former tag team champions
Yeah.
back in 2006, I believe.
Yeah.
So uh, you know that taking that aside, it just makes sense that he's an all star.
And he's a big man,
He's
replacing
a
a big
big man
man.
to replace Kane. It's kind of a good replacement. He's a big man for wrestling history buffs. They were former tag team champions, and to live with the keep the gimmick going of the all star, he's an all star for sure. So I like that pick. I would not want to win, but I like the pick. I mean, I'm not against Big Show being in it, as long as they don't do that spot with 10 ladders being thrown on him again. I like that spot, but it's overused. So as long as they don't do that again, I'm good with Big Show being in the match.
Yeah, I was just wondering where he was. I mean, I made a list of all stars that could be in this match, and it's not a very long list. So
We're
Big
gonna wonder
Show.
where he is again when the ladders are all thrown on top of him.
Yeah. You got any more picks?
Yeah, I got more. Rey Mysterio.
Rey Mysterio. Wow. Hey, where's he been? Yeah, that's good. He's an all-star, definitely. He has history with Rob Van Dam. That's a good history right there.
Oh, yeah.
He fits in this match. Sure. He won't steal the show in any way, and I don't think he's gonna like I think him taking the place of Kane makes a lot of sense. I mean, if Van Dam got hit by a car at a restaurant, if you saw that or not on Twitter, um, and he
Like,
was
did he
out.
pull up the rock?
Yeah, well, that's a Rikishi reference. No, but if Van Dam was out, or CM Punk even, if he was out and Rey Mysterio replaced him, that would be different. It would feel a lot different, and it would be something missing. But Kane being out and Rey Mysterio coming in, no offense, is probably something probably has to do with the mask. But Rey Mysterio, I think that's a really good pick, man.
I think so too. And is by you saying this is a little off topic, but really what you were saying, and I kind of got to respond. You said that you don't think he would participate in stealing a show. So do you think at this point in Rey Mysterio's career he's not capable of stealing a show?
I want to say capable, but he's got to pick his moments. And a Money in the Bank ladder match with Rob Van Dam, CM Punk, Daniel Bryan, Rey Mysterio, Christian. Not no. You got the co-king of the ladder match. You got indie best in the world. You got WWE best in the world. You got the whole effing show. You got the Legend Killer or Apex Predator. Sorry. And I mean Sheamus is just like Irish Super Cena. So I mean, yeah, Rey
Okay.
Mysterio. Because like if you put Rey Mysterio in a ring with other all stars, they're gonna kind of mesh together. I mean, no, not one person's gonna steal the show in this one. I think all of them are gonna steal the show.
Okay.
Yeah.
Um, I'm going to throw another name out there. Brock Lesnar.
Shoot. Why? Why'd you pick Brock?
Why did I pick Brock Lesnar? I guess because of his feud with CM Punk. I think it would be more about Brock Lesnar uh, not letting CM Punk win the match.
I think it's a possibility to see Brock Lesnar stop CM Punk from winning the match.
That's probably more probable. I probably agree. Yeah, I mean, if, if Brock went to extreme lengths, I guess he'd put himself in the match so he could literally just stop CM Punk. But the question would be why Brock would do that when he could just as easily come out and attack him since it's no DQ. And because I don't think Brock really cares about the WWE Championship at this moment in his career. So you make a good point. I'm kind of seeing things your way without you even really going in depth. I see where you're going with this.
Cool. What else we got?
Well, we have the Undertaker.
The
That's a
Undertaker.
possibility.
Wow. Okay. Well,
I mean, Kane and him obviously that makes sense that he would replace his brother.
yeah, it definitely makes sense that he would replace him. From what I heard, I don't believe Undertaker's even healthy enough to make it to SummerSlam. We're hoping that he will be. I mean, they were saying the same thing about WrestleMania too, but he made it. So like, I mean, I'm sure he'll make it to SummerSlam. But if he's questionable for SummerSlam, I'm sure he's out of the question for Money in the Bank, especially a ladder match, and especially a ladder match for the WWE title, and especially with all these guys in it. I mean, you look at these guys. These guys can last in a ladder match, um, and climb a ladder. I mean, Undertaker has bad knees also, so I mean, you just got to keep in mind the age and the prestige of the Undertaker. For someone to wrestle one match a year and one special match, there are two special matches with the Shield to set up his leave, and then come back for a Money in the Bank ladder match, it just doesn't make sense to me. So I don't know.
Okay, I'm with you. So I mean, I think I think there's kind of the idea that Undertaker could replace Kane, but with
Back in the
all
day,
with
maybe. Back in the day, yeah,
yeah, back in the day especially, I think with what you said, I'm on board with you. I think it's a name to throw out there and a name to
yeah.
consider an all-star type situation like this, but and his connection with Kane, but really your points that you made are pretty much shut it down in my opinion. So I have a few more, and maybe
Name
you have some too, but I'll throw a couple more out there. How about this is gonna get the fanboys of this person really excited. The icon Sting.
Sting, the icon. It's showtime, folks. Sting coming back.
Woo!
All right. That was that Ric Flair or the Miz or Sting or
It's whoever you want it to be, 5 star.
okay, buddy. It's Sting. It is Sting, ladies and gentlemen. Sting returning to
Is he
well,
return? Yep, he's returning to. Uh,
uh,
I don't know. He's not really returning to anything. He's actually debuting in the WWE.
yeah, I just thought about that.
Yep.
All right, Sting. Sting coming to the WWE for the very first time in his career. His contract is almost up. Probably not up in time for Money in the Bank, but if it
Probably
were,
not.
he still wouldn't be able to compete. That's what happened with Van Dam. Van Dam was ready to come to the WWE WrestleMania time, but he couldn't perform at WrestleMania, sadly, because they have to wait a period of time out of action. They have to be out of action for a period of time with their new contract, and then they're able to wrestle. So that's why Van Dam's debuting so late. So Sting, long stretch, buddy. But
It is. It is. But what? What if? Just what if? Imagine this: Sting emerging from the rafters, flying down the rafters with Dixie Carter in his arms, and they take the briefcase out under the WWE universe, and bring it to TNA Impact.
oh wow.
Your
Okay.
thoughts on that? Because I mean, that won't happen.
Well, all right. If that were to happen,
It could, but it
I think it'd be
won't.
sad. I think it'd be very desperate of TNA to have to go into their all-star match, steal the briefcase, and bring it back just to get ratings. Like
That they won't get. They won't. They still
that
won't
they
get
won't
ratings.
get. That they won't get. They'll be like, hey,
They'll
where's
get
the
up to a
title?
1.4.
Yeah, yeah. People are gonna watch it and go, where is Sting taking the title? How do I find out where Sting went?
And when I say 1.4, I mean 1 out of 4 million people watch it.
That's messed up. Oh man, you got anyone else on that list? Anyone else? I mean, can't be worse than Sting.
There. I think you had somebody else on there because we were going over show notes. You said somebody. I don't want to mention him, and I'll let you do it because
You
I
don't want to
will.
mention him because you can't believe it. But the Heartbreak Kid Shawn Michaels returning to the ring for the Money in the Bank ladder match.
Uh,
What was that?
that was me showing my disapproval, not of Shawn Michaels and his amazing, marvelous, spectacular career, but of him coming back.
All
Not
right.
only just coming back after his wonderful retirement, one of the best retirements in wrestling history, but coming back in a Money in the Bank ladder match. No, I would be very sad if that happened. 5 star.
It's more believable than the Undertaker, buddy.
Is not more. Is it more believable than Sting and Dixie Carter stealing the briefcase and
Yeah, you see, you know what? You give that suggestion, okay? And I mean, like that's so not possible. I mean, first of all, storyline wise, that would be stupid. Secondly, his if he were to sign a new contract, he has to wait 3 months before he can come in. It's,
the image
third of
is
all, his
great. Look
contract
at
isn't
his
even up.
image. The image of Dixie Carter in Sting's arms.
The
It's
image is Shawn Michaels returning, and you'd rather see Dixie Carter in Sting's arms while he takes the Money in the Bank briefcase back to TNA
yes,
that no one's gonna watch.
yes.
Okay,
I would watch them on
okay. Who else we got? You got someone else, don't you?
TNA. We were not done talking about Shawn Michaels. I
I'm
mean,
done talking about
why are you throwing his name in the hat?
because okay. Well, I put Shawn Michaels in there. There were rumors about Shawn Michaels returning to face Daniel Bryan at some point, and I was trying to think of all stars, and there aren't that many all stars. And Shawn Michaels, the more that I talk about it, the more I believe Shawn Michaels is a very unlikely um, person to replace Kane. Secondly, the more that I talk about it and think about it, the more I realize that it's still not as far fetched as your Sting idea.
Okay. Um, I won't say that you're wrong, but I will say that Webster's of Wrestling, at least one half of Webster's of Wrestling, that being me, is declaring that Shawn Michaels will never ever wrestle again. It's not going to happen ever. 5 star. Never.
Ever?
Ever again.
Okay. Fair enough. Now we can move.
Anybody else? Is there anybody else?
No,
I
I
think
don't. I don't have anybody else. I
I think
mean,
we've dug through all of the absurd, crazy speculation that any wrestling fan could could ever want.
I think there's one more.
Throw it at me.
Edge.
Ah, the rated R superstar who's also retired. What is it with you and your desire to see retired wrestlers come back?
When in doubt, go to the recycling bin and find the retired superstars and bring them back. That's what Hulk Hogan does.
That's TNA's business model, I think.
Yeah, that's why it's. Never mind. We're talking about WWE. This is Money in the Bank. Okay. Yeah, Edge coming back, teaming with Christian. He's got Van Dam in there. Orton, rated RKO. He rivaled with Sheamus. Never. And you got CM Punk. I mean, it's a ladder match. It's all stars. I mean, if you're gonna have an all stars Money in the Bank ladder match, wouldn't you have Edge?
You would if Edge was still an
If
option.
he
If
was
Edge
still an
still,
option,
if
yeah.
he was still, if he was still a wrestler, I think Edge is perfectly fine living out in the country with his dogs and by the lake and rowboating and fishing. Or I don't know if he fishes. I think he would just rowboats,
He's
but
yeah, he's doing stuff.
he's happy living out by his own. I don't think he has any desire at all to be involved in a dangerous Money in the Bank ladder match that could possibly hurt his health further than it's already hurt. So that's why I don't see Edge coming back. And this is coming. I'm trying to make logic out of it. I'm making a logical explanation. This is coming from the same person who a minute ago said that Sting and Dixie Carter would take a would come for the rafters and steal a briefcase. So take my logic with a grain of salt, viewers.
Yeah, definitely. Well, if you guys have any better replacements than Sting and Dixie Carter, or Shawn Michaels, how about you guys put it in the comment section? Like, who do you think will replace Kane? And tell us why you think they'll replace Kane even, so we can get down on this Money in the Bank ladder match. We do need a replacement. I'm sure. I'm sure they're not gonna have a six-man match. Or
No, and I don't think Kane will come back in.
yeah,
So
and Kane's
it,
not. Yeah, he's not coming back.
now that we discussed that, we should probably discuss the other members of the match. What do you think of the how good this match is going to be? The match quality here. I mean, I think it's pretty stacked here with a lot of great talent. So, what do you think?
You have really great talent. Sheamus was the man of 2012 and 11 and 12. Christian, he can look good in that ring, and he can make other people look good in that ring. And in a ladder match, he's at home. He's at Home Depot. Like seriously, Daniel Bryan, best in the world. He can duke it out with anybody. He's already won a ladder match, a Money in the Bank ladder match. Christian's won
Great
more
match,
ladder
yeah.
matches than anybody, except his brother Edge. CM Punk, oh my God, dude, he won 2 Money in the Bank ladder matches at WrestleMania.
Right, it's already a record. I mean, he'd
Yeah,
be beating his own record if he won this one.
and he was the first ECW guy to win it.
That's true,
Just
actually.
saying.
Yeah,
Yeah. Oh, I think. Yeah, yeah.
no,
No,
definitely.
wasn't Van Dam?
Van Dam was not on ECW. That was before the ECW brand returned. He won
Ha,
that.
there you go
Yes,
then. All right then. But then you got Van Dam. Yeah, you got Van Dam. He's great in ladder matches. They showed so many videos of him winning ladder matches.
that's true.
He's at home. He's perfect. Randy Orton, he can look good in that ring, wrestling an invisible wrestler.
Well,
Uh,
true, and Randy. Don't forget, Randy Orton was in the WrestleMania 23. He's been in more too, but this pops out at me just because the WrestleMania 23 ladder Money in the Bank ladder match is my personal all-time favorite Money in the Bank ladder match. So Randy Orton was in that one. So I always like seeing him in Money in the Bank matches.
yeah, we could always see his RKO. We could always use that. I think all of these guys individually can put on a 5-star match, and put together they can put on a 10-star match even. I just think it's just going to be an overall really good match. You have a lot of high flyers, a lot of people in this match who aren't afraid to get hurt. You saw Randy Orton use a chair shot to the head of Daniel Bryan a couple
I
of weeks
did.
ago.
I did see that. I was
Yeah,
very surprised. What do you think about that? What is your stance on? I don't want to get
too
too into
technical.
this.
Yeah.
We can save this for our time. But I think that since you brought it up, it's worth a little bit of discussion. What's your thoughts on chair shots to the head in the year 2013, and if there's a place in wrestling for them, or if there isn't?
Um, there was a last man standing match between Undertaker and the Great Khali. It was going to be at SummerSlam, but they had it on SmackDown because Undertaker had some business to take care of. And Undertaker smacked Khali with a chair right in the head. Khali's a giant. He looks indestructible. But after that match, Khali had a concussion. Um, well, during the match, of course.
Right.
So, like, it's very dangerous. I just had a concussion recently myself, and I wasn't hit with a chair. So, I mean,
Yeah.
I think for the safety of the wrestlers and to keep them around longer, um, it's a much better idea to stay away from chair shots. The way I'm going to answer this is you can put on an entertaining 5-star quality match without a chair, period. So if you are going to introduce a chair, you do not need to hit the other person in the head to be entertaining, unless you're Van Damme. No, no, not even Van Damme. But yeah,
Okay.
stay away from the
I
head. Safety.
I I totally agree. I think that there's absolutely no reason in the year 2013 and before you have to give them a break because they did not have the knowledge of what it was actually doing to their brain. So since studies have come out, Chris Nowinski, former WWE superstar, is one of the leaders in the research that is brain trauma to the head, and
Chris Nowinski, wasn't he on Tough Enough?
uh, he was the Harvard graduate.
Yeah, from Tough Enough.
Yes. Yeah,
Wow.
he's one of the leaders in brain trauma to the head and from athletes, not only in professional wrestling but in NFL and I believe UFC. So he knows what he's talking about. He's a very smart guy, and he's been trying to spread the knowledge of how much it can affect athletes, including in the sport of professional wrestling. And no, I think it's um, absolutely uncalled for to have any chair shots to the head in the sport of professional wrestling. There's no like Five Star said, you can put on an amazing match without even having a chair. And there's no, I'm not saying you can't have a hardcore match, but to to do damage to the brain, unnecessary damage to the brain, just for a OMG moment from the crowd is is not worth it. It's not worth it at all. And to protect the wrestlers, I'm very glad WWE back in 2008 took this stance against chair shots to the head. I think
Yeah,
that bravo by them, and I
bravo.
think they should stand by that.
Yeah, they
So,
fined Daniel Bryan and Randy Orton, and like not storyline. Like they fined both of them
but the chair shot,
for the
and
spot.
I agree with that.
Yeah, I agree too. And they did too. They understood. But as you saw the chair shot, if you guys watch that back, Randy Orton versus Daniel Bryan on Raw, in a what was it, Street Fight or something? I don't know.
Yeah,
Yeah. Um, Randy Orton did his very best to protect Daniel Bryan when he hit him with the chair. So yeah, they were looking after each other even with
that's
the
good.
chair shot. So anyway, getting off topic. Let's get
Sure, let's
back
get
on
back on
track.
topic here. I just felt that, and I don't like to go off topic too much. It's fun, and sometimes there's need for it. But I felt it's a pretty serious topic in
Yeah,
professional
definitely.
wrestling, so I think it deserves some conversation.
Please don't try this at home.
Yes. Um, so I think we've covered. I mean, I think I agree with what you're saying that Christian really knows how to steal a show in ladder matches and won a bunch of them with Edge. RVD, super excited to see him return. He's done a lot of great stuff with hardcore matches in general. CM Punk won it twice, like you said. Could he win a third time? Quite possible. I think Daniel Bryan is the one to look out for, and he's also going to put on a great performance. Sheamus has some experience in ladder matches. I don't think he's here to steal the show by any means, but I think he'll put on a good performance. Randy Orton's always great in these matches, as we both agree. But there can only be one winner, Five Star. So who's that going to be? Because I think this one is a little easier to predict than the other one, in my
You
opinion.
can't say that. We don't know who's replacing Kane.
Ah, yeah, okay. Well, Sting and Dixie Carter, but
Yeah.
if they don't, you're right. We don't know.
Yeah, we don't know who's replacing Kane. I mean, whoever that may be could be a wild card
That's
and could
true. It makes
change
it very
everything.
much more
Yeah,
unpredictable
it could
than
change the dynamic of this entire match.
I wasn't even thinking about that. That's very true. So okay, I'll leave it up to you to give the first prediction here. Is it going to be any of these aforementioned men, or is it going to be one of the wild cards?
Um, it's gonna be one of the six guys. Christian. I mean, since returning, Christian has absolutely no momentum. I'm kind of upset that Randy Orton couldn't put him over and Kane couldn't put him over. I mean, Kane didn't put Christian over, and Kane had momentum leading into Money in the Bank, and he's not even going to be in it, so that's wasted momentum. Christian could have used that momentum.
Yeah, it is.
Um, but Christian has absolutely no momentum in this match, so he doesn't seem legitimate being in the match. Sheamus, he doesn't need to win the damn thing.
Yeah.
Van Dam returning. I know he's returning. It's in Philadelphia. It's a ladder match. It's absolutely perfect. It makes so much sense for him to win the match. It really, really does. But I don't think Van Dam's going to win it. I think Van Dam's going to steal the whole effing show. He's going to steal it. He's going to look great doing it. But I think he's going to take himself out along with another superstar. Not sure who.
That's a nice prediction. I probably would agree. He'll get a great response for sure. But I'm glad they're having this show in Philly because Van Dam has so much history there, so it's going to be cool.
Yeah, exactly. Randy Orton needs a push. He definitely needs a push. If now's the right time, not sure. He needs a heel turn. This could do it for him. But I think it'd be a good idea if Orton won the Money in the Bank briefcase. His RKO out of nowhere is always a good thing to see. I always like seeing his RKOs and where he's gonna hit it from. So him RKOing a champion before cashing in just sounds great. Um, eh, CM Punk, of course. Uh, this is tough. Okay, yeah, it's absolutely tough. I mean, you got six all stars. You have six top superstars, a returning Van Dam legend guy, dude, and it's just very hard to pick a winner. But to me, the surefire winner's got to be Daniel Bryan. Um,
Okay.
yeah, that's my pick.
Okay. I agree. I agree with you. I think the WWE set this one up with Daniel Bryan at the end of Raw this past Monday, being the man on top of the ladder, leading the WWE audience with yes chants, and really looking like the guy who's going in. A good portion of fans, I think, will be ordering this pay per view on the idea that Daniel Bryan has a very good chance at being the victor. And I think WWE will have him win the briefcase and go on and cash that baby in at SummerSlam against John Cena. So I think that's where it's all heading. And obviously the wild card plays into this where we don't know who it is, and that very well could be the winner. But I don't want to take that crazy of a prediction because I really don't know who it is. So
Hell, it could be Mark Henry.
yeah, for all we know, yeah, it could be somebody on the card already. So, but I'm gonna go with Daniel Bryan. That one seems like the Dean Ambrose prediction, the most excuse me, the most logical uh, choice by WWE at this point in time. So I'm gonna go with Daniel Bryan, and I'm not upset at that at all, especially if it leads to him facing off against Cena this SummerSlam or anytime in the future. So Daniel Bryan is me, and that's your final prediction as well.
Yeah.
Okay, and before we close this show out, I think that we should also, I mean, these briefcases that they're winning, like we should discuss whether they will cash them in at the Money in the Bank pay per view or hang on to them, both the World Heavyweight Championship briefcase and the WWE Championship briefcase. What is the possibility or the likelihood of them cashing in those briefcases, one or the other or both, that night?
Okay. That night, no. There's no likelihood. I mean, there is a bit of a likelihood John Cena versus Mark Henry if that match happens after the Money in the Bank ladder match. Because if it happens after, Mark Henry can add Cena to the Hall of Pain, and someone could come out and cash it in. It would be great if Van Dam did that, wouldn't it? I mean,
That
damn,
would be really great.
that'd be a sick moment. But so I mean, I think the world title, if Dean Ambrose wins it, or if anybody wins it. Okay, all right, here, the world title, Money in the Bank. Whoever wins it, they need to be legitimized and they need to build themselves up, their character up, in order to be taken seriously when they win the world title. So they're not going to cash it in that night. They can't. Jack Swagger did that at WrestleMania. He won the title, the Money in the Bank, and he cashed it in a couple weeks later, and it just didn't seem believable. I didn't take him seriously. No one else did either. So every rookie, I'm going to call them all rookies. Every rookie there needs to develop their character more. What do you think about the world title contract?
I agree with you. I will say uh, quickly that I actually did like Swagger's world title run. I know most people didn't like that, but I thought it was not great, but I thought it was actually a fun little run, especially with the stuff with his father coming in. I thought it was I thought
Yeah.
it was kind of, I thought it was kind of fun, but it definitely doesn't stand out as a great cash in moment or one of the great world title runs from the Money in the Bank cash in. So I am with you on that. Uh, yeah, you're right. Most of these guys need to be legitimized through months and months of build up before they cash it in. And especially if Ambrose wins, I think it's very important that they tease the Shield attacking different people and him cashing in. I think there's a lot of drama that they could get out of that uh, with
Yes.
uh, with
A
the
lot of
Shield.
fear too. A lot of
Definitely,
fear.
it makes the Shield even scarier to all of the
Yeah, they have
WWE
so much power.
superstars. So I think, especially since we both think Ambrose is winning, I don't see him cashing in. So no, I'm with you. I don't see the World Heavyweight Championship contract being cashed in that night. So what about the WWE Championship? What are your thoughts on that one?
Well, like I said, if Mark Henry does take out Cena after the match, and if the WWE title match is after the Money in the Bank ladder match, then there is a possibility. That's the only possibility, though. If the title match is after the Money in the Bank ladder match, then there's a possibility that there's going to be a cash in. But if the WWE Championship is before the match, then no. Yeah, that's it.
Okay, I yeah, that's I mean yeah, that's definitely true. I don't. There's no way that if the Money in the Bank match is the main event, there's no way that the cash in's happening. I'd say,
Yeah,
but there is a chance if it's last. In fact, it almost will seem like a warning sign if the WWE title match is last. I'd say that Daniel Bryan, if he wins, which we both think he will, that there's a possibility that he cashes it in, but it's not a guaranteed moment to look out for, in my opinion, in my honest opinion.
yeah, me too. It would make more sense if Van Dam won the ladder match and Cena's match was after, and Van Dam cashed it in Philadelphia, and won the title. Like that would make sense, and
That
that
would
would be
make
a
more
huge
sense. I
moment.
agree.
But I don't think that any of that's gonna happen.
I'm with you on that,
Yeah,
but that really closes out the show. I mean, that's a good lineup of matches right there. I think it's going to be a fun pay per view.
yeah,
Philly always brings it. They were
yeah,
in Chicago for Payback and they brought it. Now Philly's gotta bring it too because I thought Chicago did a great job at
yeah,
Payback.
definitely.
So Philly will bring the heat and WWE will hopefully bring the goods with this pay per view. I think a lot of potential here.
A lot of
Um,
potential. Yeah, you got some great matches. 8 matches on the card. That's including the kickoff match. I want to make it a little announcement actually.
all
The
right.
WWE Championship. There is there's a page on Facebook, WWE News and Rumors. They had a little quiz. First person to 3 points, representing a 3 count, um, will win the WWE Championship on their page. And I, 5-star legend David Anthony, I just happened to win that tournament little quiz championship match. So I just wanted to let you guys know that the Websters of Wrestling, we call ourselves that, of course, but we are legit knowledgeable wrestling, not only fans, but historians even. And we know what we're doing. We know what we're talking about. And I did that when I won the WWE Championship. You can see the picture of their page with the title win. And that title win
Yeah,
will always be there. And they're going to have more title matches, but their very first one was the WWE Championship. And I, your 5-star legend, won that. I'm gonna.
The boyhood dream has come true.
David Anthony.
Winning my first WWE title at a WrestleMania is as good as you can ask for. It's the biggest show in our business.
I'm hoping that WWE man can get up on that world title quiz later on.
the pressure is now on.
Yes, the pressure is now on, and if he happens to win it or any other title for that reason, we'll definitely let you guys know. And I do suggest checking out the page.
And if I don't win it, we'll never mention this again.
Yeah. We'll never mention this again. And this little plug for for their page, WWE News and Rumors, will never happen again. So check them out. Be on the lookout for the quizzes. I mean, they have some pretty tough questions. Okay, like Bob Backlund's very first WWE Championship title reign. How long was it in days?
Don't tell them, and then don't Google search this. Just test yourselves first to see if you actually know the answer to that.
Yeah, and how the hell would you? I knew it. But how the hell would you know? I don't. I'm a Webster of wrestling, man.
Yeah, he's a Webster of wrestling. That's all he knew. I know it. I'm not gonna tell you.
Yeah, he's my WWE man.
Yes.
He's a human encyclopedia when it comes to wrestling.
I am. We're historians.
That's right, and that's what we do. We just try to share facts with you. We try to give you matches, not storylines, and we try to give you the people behind it, the wrestlers, and their history, and come up with a decision on who's going to win based on that. And that's what we try to do for you guys each and every time that we do it. We do apologize again for missing Payback, and we hope that this Money in the Bank show was okay and entertaining for you guys. We'll definitely be back here for a Money in the Bank review if you guys are interested in seeing that. Yeah, just wanted to share that with you. I am the WWE champion, the 5-star legend, David Anthony.
Yes, very true. Our very own Websters of Wrestling co-host, host, both, whatever you can say. I think we're both co-hosts, but yes,
I'm a producer.
He's the WWE champion right now. Better WWE champion than Cena has been.
Thank you. Yeah, it's been a while.
I think I'm gonna pimp a few stuff here and a few products that they can go check out. Products.
Yeah.
What am I saying?
Products.
A few web pages. Yeah, the Websters of Wrestling shop zone.
Yeah, you know what? We could actually pimp a product real quick.
Go ahead.
Yeah. You guys go check out Subject 7's new album. Subject 7 is a band. They're in the UK. They're really good friends of mine. If you didn't know, which you don't know, I'm a musician. I also have my channel. I'll put that link in the description. But I'm a rapper and a rocker. My name is D Average. Go check out my channel and go check out Subject 7's new album, Fall of the Four. It's a really great album. They're a really great band, and they're really good friends of mine. If you could go check out their album, go buy it. It's a really good album. It's cheap, it's perfect, and it's good music. And I have music coming up. So check that stuff out if you could for me. That would be great. You can pimp now, buddy.
No, I wholeheartedly agree. Check. This guy would not lie to you. He's a truth teller, unlike me with my fake Twitter.
Your many lies. Your many lies and that extreme
rules. Throne of lies.
Yeah. Here, how about you pimp some lies, buddy?
Yeah, let's pimp some of these lies. If you want to discuss my lies with me, check out our Twitter page, twitter.com/web of wrestling. Not Webster's, Web of Wrestling.
Yes.
Twitter.com/web of wrestling. I'm on there every day really, and just waiting for some replies. Anything you want to talk about in there, I'm good to go. I will respond, and we will have fun. If you want to check out our Facebook page, it's facebook.com/Websters of Wrestling. Me and Five Star are both on there, and we both love to hear your thoughts on things. We would love to start conversations about what you'd like to hear on our upcoming shows, etc., etc. We love to hear from the fans of this show, and we love to interact with them. So keep your reviews, your thoughts, and your questions coming because me and Five Star like it.
Yeah, we really do. Thank you for watching. I'm the 5-star legend, your WWE champion.
I am WWE man Levi Junk. We are the Websters of Wrestling, and please don't try this at a pharmacy.
We must retreat.